Ideally, I would have liked to put this video out a week earlier, but I wanted to wait a bit for more anime to actually begin airing, since I'm slow at editing, since I'm too busy watching anime. But that aside, I want to talk about 10 shows in the summer 2021 season that are worth to watch. I'm aware that there are a lot of isekai this season. Don't worry, this list will not be exclusively isekai. In fact, I don't think there are any, kind of. But yeah, I also won't be talking about like sequels and spin-offs, except for one, which is the first show that I'm going to talk about, because I think this series as a whole is criminally underwatched, and that is Idolish 7 Third Beat. Now, having just said that it is very underwatched, I do think that it's at least somewhat of a good thing, because it means that people that will obviously hate the show are not bothering to watch it. But I promise you, there are many more people that would enjoy this if you just gave it a chance. So what is it about? We have a male idol group comprised of 7 members, who would have guessed, and we're just exploring what they go through as idols. I'm not really sure how else to really describe it, but there are quite a few strengths to this. First of all, the characters are all great and have actual depth and developments that get explored throughout the series. The story revolves around these character developments, along with the challenges and struggles that come with being an idol and being in the idol business. It's a genuinely really good drama, has some nice bits of humor thrown in there as well, and obviously the music is pretty good. The show is definitely one that more people should check out. The Duke of Death and His Maid. This is a really nice show about a duke that got cursed by a witch and given a sort of Midas touch, but instead of turning into gold, everything he touches turns into death. It dies. Everything he touches dies. So naturally, his family seems to have disowned him, and he lives along with his maid, alone, in another mansion somewhere. And the relationship between those two characters and the way that it develops is so damn cute and wholesome. Well, maybe not wholesome, seeing how this maid is quite questionable, but it is cute. And it does of course have an element of sadness to it. I mean, these characters cannot make any contact with each other. Otherwise, the maid will die. But you still really want to root for them and hope that somehow they can get rid of the curse, because they deserve happiness. I guess another thing worth noting, which should be obvious, assuming I'm not too lazy and actually show clips, the show is entirely CGI, but it looks good, so that shouldn't be an issue. But yeah, this is a fun show, and I can't wait to watch more. The Aquatope of White Sand. Some translations say aquatope, but that's not a word, but that's besides the point, I guess. Now, at this exact moment in time and story, at the time of recording, I believe this show is missing something in order to fully hook me in. The reason I am still including it in this video is because, first of all, it's still good as it is, and second, because I have faith that this will provide that missing thing. But what do we have so far? We have 2 protagonists. One of them is a high school girl that is more or less running an aquarium, and the other is another high school girl that I guess ran away from home after being essentially forced to quit as an idol. Sad times. So far, the story is revolving around the aquarium, which makes sense given the title, and because it is in danger of being shut down at the end of the summer. Now, this is a slice of life, so obviously the focus is on the character dynamics and such, and it's pretty decent. I also want to highlight the visuals, which look really good. But yeah, there's a lot to explore between these 2 characters and their backstories and how they will develop and how they will interact with each other going forward. So I'm optimistic that this show can get even better than it already is. Life Lessons with Uramichi Onisan. I wasn't completely sure what to expect from this show, but my god, it is damn funny. We have our main character, a 20-something-year-old man that is absolutely dead inside and works for a children's TV show in which this anime takes place. There isn't much to explain in terms of story since it's just a slice of life, but we're just seeing how the characters interact with their work and with the children in the show as well, since these children are savages. You know, when children say things bluntly because, you know, they don't know any better, and it ends up being the biggest roast of your life. There's quite a bit of that in this show. It's great. A potential worry would be that this ends up being really repetitive, but as I'm watching it weekly, I don't think I'll personally be bothered, but maybe something to keep in mind if you binge watch shows, I guess. We'll find out at the end of the season anyways. Sunny Boy. This one's an interesting one. It seems like a bit of a mystery world, so I don't want to actually explain too much. It doesn't have a mystery tag, but still. But essentially, we start off with a group of students in a school that somehow isn't connected to the world anymore. Along with that, it seems this world has rules of its own, and some of the students have powers of their own. These powers vary greatly in what they actually do, but are all obviously important since these students are now on their own. I'd say more, but I think it's better to just go into it knowing less, so I'll more or less just leave it at that. The art style and animation is really nice, and the show definitely stands out just for being even slightly unique. Definitely stands out against the 11 isekai this season. So yeah, definitely a show to keep an eye on. The Case Study of Vanitas. Some good animation, some pretty cool music, and a pretty interesting story with some fun characters. We have vampires of a few varieties, and at this point I realized that describing the characters would technically be a spoiler, so instead, I'll say that the characters seem to have interesting backgrounds that will slowly be revealed in order to understand why the characters do what they do. For our main characters, that revolves around the Book of Vanitas and the mysterious powers it possesses. One of our main characters' goal was to find the book, and he encounters our other main character who possesses it. This isn't really a mystery show, but I still think it's better to watch it without knowing too much. Pretty interesting story, animation, and I really like the humor in the show as well. Just simple stuff. But yeah. Remake Our Life. In this story, we have a man whose life is not going as well as he would have liked. He tried doing what he thought would be optimal, but maybe he should have done something else. 10 years earlier, he had the option of attending the university he ended up going to, or an art university. Maybe things would have gone better if he just took the risk and went to art school. And in this show, he somehow gets the opportunity to try again. As for how that happened, don't worry about it. I do wonder if that's going to ever be addressed. I feel like just letting it happen would be better than addressing it and it being a terrible explanation, but we'll see. And yeah, it's a really interesting premise. Well, straightforward enough premise, and the characters are good as well. So far the story has been about the character discovering who he's actually working with, the people he ended up in housing with. And yeah, it's kind of hard to describe what it's about because that premise is what this is about. So yeah, I guess we'll see together how this turns out. But so far I'm liking it. Remain, a water polo show where the main character has already won nationals for his middle school team, and then he got into an accident in a half-year-long coma and lost his entire middle school memory. As a premise, I like that. So we have someone that is essentially a first-year high schooler with brain of a first-year middle schooler. Now, as a slight spoiler, he does seem to mature quite rapidly and adapt into being a schooler, so I don't think that development is going to be that important to the story, but his lost memories will be. Many people and many experiences have been forgotten, along with an entire sport, 3 years of dedication down the drain. Because he was in a coma for half a year, it's not as if he can keep his athletic body either. So in the end, what will he do? Well, he ends up joining a school that doesn't have a good water polo team, and well, let's see how that goes for him. It's a really good show so far, and I'm really looking forward to more. Opera Girl. This is one of the least popular shows for this season for some reason, and I'm enjoying it quite a bit. I really hope this does not turn out to be my Joran take of the season, but I have faith this one will actually stay good. It's another show about an idol that was forced to quit too soon. They really couldn't even wait one season before doing this, huh? Anyways, this ex-idol gets accepted and attends the all-girls Red Flower Opera Music School, along with many others, including our other main character, a very tall, loud, optimistic girl. There's a better word to describe her, but I don't care. Now, so far, there isn't too much in terms of plot development. We are more or less told the objective of the show, which is to be among the best at the school, to be part of the special play, I don't feel like checking what everything is actually called, but you get the idea. But the main characters have certain things about them that are being explored and are really good. I mean, someone being forced into quitting being an idol definitely has a backstory. And trust me, she has a backstory. And the other girl being like 20 feet tall, trying to do performance-related things, does get met with opposition, in the sense that people tell her that she really is not gonna do well. And along with them, we see side characters being very two-faced and competitive, showing us all what the world of show business is really like. There's quite a lot going on, and I don't know, I think this is a really underwatched show, and I think more people should check it out. The last show in this video, Jahi-sama Won't Be Discouraged. A show where Jahi-sama does in fact get discouraged. Now at the time that I'm recording this video, the first episode has not actually aired yet, so I did my due diligence and read the manga. I watched the trailer as well, and the trailer looks promising. Doesn't look like the animation will be anything special or anything, but it'll get the job done for this show. So what's it about? We have the number 2 of the demon realm, Jahi-sama, who has essentially lost all of her power after the demon realm got destroyed by a magical girl. So the story revolves around our main character collecting mystic gems to get back her power and restore the demon realm and the demon king, lord, whatever. Now to be clear, this is more or less a slice of life, so the focus isn't necessarily on the plot, but to be clear, there is plot and stuff does happen, so don't worry about that, but just, you know, keep in mind slice of life aspects of the show, even if that's not a tag for it for some reason. But yeah, this show is just really damn cute, to be honest. It's a comedy, it's nice, not much more to say. Girl tries to survive and realizes the hardship of not having followers doing everything for her, and having to actually get a job and stuff, and being weak. It's great. It's really fun, and I'm looking forward to watching the first episode. So these are some of the shows that I think are worth checking out. To be clear, there are quite a few others that I'm enjoying a lot as well, and to be honest, there was one other show that I wanted to mention, so yeah, screw it, I'm going to. Spirit Chronicles. To oversimplify it, it's essentially a less edgy Rising of the Shield hero, so if you enjoyed that, you should enjoy this. They are different shows, but if you wanted to point out similarities, you would see that there are quite a lot of them. So yeah, if you wanted to give an actual isekai a chance, I'd say this is the best one, though a few of the other ones are pretty fun as well. Like honestly, I'm enjoying most shows this season. There's only like 3 or 4 that I dislike, though I'll also say that nothing really stands out as much besides the sequels. Not to say that there won't be any special anime this season, but maybe we have some slow starters. But the shows I've mentioned here are worth a watch, and are pretty varied in terms of genre and tone and stuff, so hopefully you find something in this video that's for you. And yeah, that's it for me. Hope you all have a good day, and yeah. Bye.